Look at that. Bright, beautiful, sunny day. Even though we got more rain yesterday, even though we weren't supposed to, but such is life. This area is supposed to be my office because it's not disconnected from the house. There will be roof over this little portage area. When we do the next pour, I'm going to pour the walls and the floor for this one at the same time so that sooner than later, this area can start being used as my office instead of the RV. Just because it'll be larger, I can set it up and it'll be way, way more comfortable overall. So that's kind of a priority. So stack all this and stack the first course for all this. Next week, I'm supposed to have help. Today is Friday. So if you take a day, tomorrow, Sunday, if I can make some progress on all this stuff. My goal is I would rather when helpers come in that we're not sitting here figuring out elevation and everything. We're just stacking block. Because when you're just stacking block, it goes pretty quick. All right, so continue with what I was doing in the last video and see if we can get a little bit of elevation with this. But what's going to be the difference is I'm going to use the Zonts and Zuckles on this particular area. I do all the bracing on the outside because like the house, when the bracing's on the inside, well, we can't pour concrete on the floor while bracing's sitting there. But with this bracing on the outside, that will allow us to do that. All right, day 2. Didn't get to work much yesterday, as you saw, but it's all right. We're going to knock a lot out today. So some things I just kept rolling, so I didn't come in and show it up close. But so these are the pre-bent corners from MST bar. All my rebar's fiberglass. Okay. So put number 4 in, and these little tabs in the Nudura block allow you to put the rebar where you want it. So a 20-foot stick almost goes the whole way. The wall's a little longer than 20 feet, so you have to overlap. It's at least 40 times the thickness of the bar overlap, and I went beyond that to a little bar to tie it in. Then I went ahead and popped a corner on, and now you can see what I'm talking about. So down here, see, this is where the corner stops. That's the end of the block. This was we talked about it, the short side, and this is the long side. It stopped here. So then we flip it opposite for the next row. So it locks over this and gives this more strength. I just do the corners for the next course, and I've already put my clips in. These are the Zonts. And so in the system, if you watch the pool videos, you've seen this, but that's the piece that'll go in and tie them all together. So I put that in, then this camber lock turns, unless you give pressure against this to straighten the wall out. So I'm using this one as I go, so I can go ahead and put a screw in here, put this where it's supposed to be. This is called a horizontal whaler. So it gives us a nice straight wall. All right, so I'm taking they call them, they're a can. So when you order your Zonts, they come in that metal can down there. And that's how you can carry them around from job site to job site. They're real sturdy, and they have these nice handles on the sides. I'm going around measuring on that one side because that's where I started the other day. And I did not put those quite at the top of the form, but the rest of them I just put at the top. And when you look at the webbing, I'm putting one Zont on, and then I'm skipping 2 webs and putting another one on. So since there's 8 inches between the webs, so 1, skip 2, and then the third one. So it ends up being, 8, 16, 24, right? So it's about 24 inches. You can easily go 54 inches between your mounts. So I went overkill on this, but because of the way we're going to do it, and I've already got them, so I went and did it. But that's the straight board. So I bring that in, put that on, and then once we put the verticals on and adjust that cam lock, it just automatically straightens your wall out all the way through. So it's pretty neat. That's one feature you just don't get out of the other bracing systems, or not that I've seen. See, that's where I'm taking the temporary vertical and put it in there, so I can, before I put my screw in underneath on the Zont, I can and hold the board in place. I've already done that. Make sure I've got that little space taken up that the 2x4 is going to do. Continuing on the other side, more Zonts. So this is the side that faces south. The house pretty much faces east, so we always get sunrise on the back of the house and sun most of the day, which will be great for the pool. And then the sunset is behind us towards those trees on the left hand or top left corner of the video. Cutting that board a little shorter because I couldn't use a full board to get it. Funny enough, and I say this in the next video because I've already started filming some of that, but my office is pretty much the exact same size as the lower dive pool, the square part, the deep part of it. So that's kind of funny. So continuing on with the Zonts, I've got that little pail. You might recognize that from when we were putting on the Acrocrete. That's the smaller pail that the polymer comes in. I'll just finish putting those on, and then we'll just have one more whaler to put on. Get that all set up. And then we're going to be ready to go ahead and keep stacking. Just wanted to get the wall nice and straight and have a good foundation to build off of. All right, so all those are on. This is that prep work I talk about. So Zonts are on. That makes the walls pretty straight. A little bit to do, but they're not yet level. And you see we got some offset stuff I'll have to work on. But you saw me put that little piece in there, turn the cam lock, and get that pushed up against on each piece. Over here, we got a little bit of a challenge because the door goes here, so I need a little extension piece over there. I've got to decide the exact door size I want to go with. The manufacturer I've talked to so far that do European stuff, doors are pretty big. It ends up being like a 44-inch opening. So I've got to do a 47-inch opening because the pre-buck takes up 1.5 inches on each side, so 3 inches. Then you have your 44-inch opening, whereas a normal, like a 3/6 door would have a, which is a, normal, nice, large exterior door, would be 37.5-inch opening. So it's quite a bit larger than that. I just got to make sure that's what I want to go with. Just wanted to go to real time and kind of just show you a close-up look at all this and what I'm doing. So you'll see me next as I go through, and I'll pull these up until it's all level and then run screws in via the pickets. And then probably tonight I'll set up the green laser just to make sure everything's still on point and run this on up. So the house was 7 courses, which comes out 18-inch each course, so it comes out to 10.5 feet. This one's supposed to be 11, which would mean I'm going to have to cut like a 6-inch top on this deal when we're all said and done. So I'll look at it too and decide if that's really what I'm going with. I have to look at the plans because we got rid of the second floor, so that changed a few things. And we're going to have the big open ceiling. It's going to be a lot of cool detail inside. If you're building ICF, which is true with any building really, but less corners and craziness, faster you're going to be able to build, less doors and windows, more efficient house. But we've got a decent amount of all that, so deal with that. And then of course the round areas are their own fun. So all right, let's do it. Remember when we poured the house, there were lots of comments, lots of people in the comment section saying, look at all those people standing around. I'd fire them or I'd send them home, all this stuff, because everybody had their own job. And there's going to be people stood around. Now, what I will do next time is I'll have an A crew and a B crew, and the B crew will come in later instead of being there crack of dawn like everybody was, so that they're sharp and all that. But like one person's job is just to straighten the walls. What happens is, and this is the same for formed wall, any formed wall. If you get busy with other things like vibrating or putting more concrete somewhere, or the million other things that are going on while you're trying to do this, and you let a wall set up too much and you haven't checked it, then you can end up with a wall that's a little bit out. And, you know, we learned that on the basement walls, which is okay. And there's room for error because you can sand the walls, but that's just extra work. Why would you want to do that, right? You want to get it right the first time, which most of the house is really, really good. But right in here, this was the last part of the pour, end of the day. Everybody's tired. It was 98 degrees. I'd been on the pump all day, and we let this wall set up a little bit too much before we adjusted it. So that's why everyone has to have their own job. And you know what? Truthfully, so think about that. If I had one person that got paid $20 an hour and was here all day, and their only job was to zip on the drill and adjust the wall, and that's all they had to do, and they really weren't going to be busy till the end of the day, I'd rather pay them for a whole 10-hour day, pay them $200 than have a wall I got to mess with later. So that's the idea. You can't have enough people on a concrete floor. You just can't. Not a big one. So yeah, so that's why that's out a little bit there. It's fine. We're gonna make it all work. Get covered up in brick, and it's one of those things that you know, we're a 1/4 inch out. Now if we were out a foot, obviously that's a teared out problem, right? So you want to avoid all the problems you can. Learn from me if you're going to be doing some stuff yourself, and this is just a piece of advice. Don't worry if you got that extra person or two that you're paying. Make them do other stuff, like, you know, filming doesn't catch everything everybody's doing anyway. Hey, you're going to be my gopher guy, bringing waters to everybody until it's time for you to work or whatever. Anyway, let's keep on doing it. All right, and that's a zuckle. You have your adjustment, right? And you can put it on the ground side and run a piece of rebar in or a stake. And then this fits on the 2x4 screws in it, and you screw the other side here, and you can adjust the wall back and forth. Or you can screw it to the wall and run the 2x4 back. Different people, the whole thing about that is it just depends on where you want to be when you adjust the wall. If you want to be on the wall side, or if you want to have someone on the ground. That's it. That's the biggest difference. So all this stuff, the zonts, zuckles, zats, which make the scaffolding, and comes from Fabform, Fab-Form. They make a lot of cool stuff for this industry. Been around a long time. They're up in Canada, and Aaron and the guys over at All Three Pools out of Springfield, Missouri, are going to start being distributors, I believe. I think I heard that. So they can, you know, so you can not wait on customs and all that stuff. And all right. So this row is all set. So we'll let that cure up. And then, so I'm going to go mow because I've got a ton of grass to mow back here while this all gets good and cured out. And then I'll go around and pop in some screws if I need to or whatever. And then I'm going to start stacking the next rows and hopefully show you that you can go from just a little something once you get to this stage to looking like you got a lot accomplished fairly quickly. So stay tuned. All right, back out here to start stacking. Yesterday I stopped to mow while this all got set up, and cured, but mowing took me, like, the rest of the day was awful. But if you can see from here, but it's all cut down. And Brandon, you might remember from, he came out and did the grass and stuff. We were concerned. So over the summer, we had a drought. We had like 5 weeks of no rain, believe it or not, and 100+ degree days. So we're thinking that was it. But while we were standing out there in the field, we saw army worms, and a lot of them. When I was mowing yesterday, I saw a bunch of white moths, and I was like, what are these things? And that's what they are. So they're eating up, so we've got to get rid of them too. Andy's going to do overseeding. But news has come in that we've got another massive storm going to hit the end of the week. So I'm going to get all I can get done, because after today and tomorrow, that's it for work for another week again. Yay! So let me get as much as I can done, and we'll ride this storm out, and then hopefully that's the last big storm of the season, but we'll see. But yeah, everything else is ready to go. All right, well, that's just about all I'm going to do today. That's the window. I've got to cut the little piece of foam out there. Got a little bit of adjustment to do. So usually once you go 3 or 4 high, you want to have your scaffolding on. So that's why I'm about to stop, because it's going to be a little bit time consuming. You see, stuff starts leaning in and all that. So you put the scaffolding is what gives the ICF its strength until you pour the concrete in it. So this is a common seam if you're new to the channel. The reason for that is your straights are 8 feet long, and then you've got your corners. So unless your building from corner to corner is an exact divisible by that distance, you're going to have to cut your form. And if you have to cut your form, then it changes up where these are. These coincide with the webbing, and the webbing has a little clip on it that clips it in. So you pick one area and that becomes what we call common seam. And we had those down below, a lot of them actually, and you just spray foam it and strap it. It's not a big deal. In this case, now that we have a lot more windows and doors, I'm able to end the common seam on a window if there's a window there. So right here, I've got a common seam here. It's not quite a full block, so that's why I didn't stack it before I jumped off to talk to y'all and do a little bit of live chatting. Then, because I'm afraid it's going to get dark on me, or I'm going to get yet again rained out, and I wanted to make sure I got this, recorded this before that happened. So, trying to learn from the past. So I'll fill these in. I'll have all that done before I stop today. I'll have the next little deal stacked. And this is my doorway. So you see, you come in here and see how that, it moves very easily. So what I'll do is I've got the zonts on down there. I'll come up to the third layer, do another row of zonts. Then once we stack the fifth one, do another row of them and put our 2x4s between them. And then, just like I did that little temporary brace yesterday, that will allow me to start adjusting all the walls perfectly straight. So this is kind of when you do that, once you get to, like I said, 3 or 4. So I'll have tomorrow to do it. The hurricane that's hitting the Gulf is supposed to be bringing us a bunch more rain towards Thursday, Friday, so towards the weekend. And I got to have this thing good and braced up by then. So finished doing 4 today. And then tomorrow, start with doing the scaffolding, getting that up, because I'll put that there so that it'll be easier for me to start to stack from there. And if everything goes well and I don't get interrupted tomorrow, then I'll probably have course 5 or 6 completed. And this one we're going 7, and then I gotta decide what I want my ultimate height. Do I want to go 8, which would be 8 times be 80, 144, so it'd be 12 feet. So do I want 12-foot walls, or do I want 10.5-foot walls, or something in between? So if I want something in between, I'll have to cut my top row, which, like I said, is not the end of the world. And that's probably what I'll do. Originally, I was going to go to 12 feet because I was going to do this floor for the next floor. And then you see how the joists hang down inside, so that would have taken up that extra little space and gave me about 11-foot ceilings roughly. But now, like I said, I got to think about what I want to do. But I'm ready to get back on this, but I want to get this done first. And this is exactly what I did on when I started the whole house build. I built that room down below first, so I can build this one. It's a nice, almost perfectly square room. Knock it out, give me some confidence, looks good. Kind of bring back any thoughts of stuff that I have to get done. And like I said, most of those corners are set. And since it's going to rain, probably going to lose another week. Let me tell you, the weather has been rough. It is not usually like this. We always get, one little bit of wet season, or maybe a hurricane comes in, but weather's crazy. Definitely crazy this year. So I'll jump back on and finish those few things, and I'll see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed it. In fact, another reason I'm stopping early is see if I can go ahead and fly a drone. So haven't done a drone shot in a while, so maybe I'll do that. And then next video, I should have this stacked all the way out and be stacking this floor. Appreciate everybody. Hit that, if you liked it, hit the like button and consider subscribing. Sharing, actually, is the number one thing. So share the video around, and maybe some people like it and get something out of it. Helps the channel. Appreciate it.
Press hard and we get through the fire. Got the edge and we're taking it higher. Fuck time now, this is our hour. We got the power, got the power. We'll be here right now and forever. When we face any storm, any weather, our kingdom's reign is eternal. We're immortal. We got the power that makes us stronger. We got the groundbreakers. We're the movers and the shakers. We're immortal. We're immortal. 'Cause our name is written for the ages. And we got it all. We are powerful. We're immortal. We're immortal. We were born to be great, to be timeless. We're here to stay and our rule will be endless. In the cage and bring out the lions. We are giants, we are giants. Living in here for now and for always. We'll endure through the rain and the dark days. Our time is now and forever. We got the power, got the power. Power that makes us stronger. We got the power. We're here forever and ever. We're the groundbreakers.